What's up guys, Chase Cromwell here. Welcome to a day in my life as a real estate agent. I'd love for you guys to join and follow the podcast. Just got to this beautiful home in Hamul where we left a termite inspection previously in Alpine this morning. What we're doing here today is we're having a home inspection. And the reason why we have home inspection is to ensure that our buyers are buying a home that is in the condition that they want it to be in. Now, the inspector should not be going through the house and saying things that don't really pertain to his job description, like saying there's structural problems. What he'll do is he'll point out things that could be red flags, right? So if there's a crack in the slab, he'll say you might want to reevaluate this or have it checked out by a professional. I see stains in the roof, have a roofer come out and look at it. But anyways, with all that being said, the most important thing about today is that the buyer is informed and has as much knowledge as they possibly can have on this home. And that goes for termite as well. So going back to our meeting this morning, when we had the termite inspector out there, the guy was going around the house looking for droppings, looking for water damaged areas on the house, mostly the wood, and informing my clients on whether or not we need to eradicate the house, tent it, or if he could just fix the problems that are there without doing any extensive work. So most importantly, today has been about inspections, finding out as much as we possibly can about the home, and fully informing our buyers about the house that they're about to buy. So come on, let's check it out. Typically on a day like this, I like to get through the house and do my own agent visual inspection. And what that means is I don't really dig deep, I don't turn on faucets, I don't check electrical, I go through and look for visual problems. Now this house is beautiful, it's pretty new, it was just built a few years ago, so it's gonna be pretty hard to find a lot, but I can show you around. We point out things as minor as scratches on the floor from the dogs. We point out things that could be wall scuffs on the baseboard and the walls. Another thing is, on our report, we like to get as detailed as there's nail holes in the mantle. So we have nail holes and a screw in the mantle. This could be something that my client wants to patch or fix. Now I peeked in the master bedroom earlier. I didn't find anything. I found a small hole in the screen door, which is not a big deal in the master bath. We look for things, for me, personally, I look for things that are signs of leaks. So this bathroom doesn't have it, but typically there'll be calcium buildup around the faucets. You'll see damage at the bottom of the cabinets. That'll be a sign of water leaks, and those are things that I like to expose to my clients. Overall, this house is clean. I like to check for cracks in the floors. Like actually there's a crack right here in the tile, and it runs underneath both these rugs. So this is something that I'll note in my report. To me, that's not a big deal. That's just regular movement. We live in California where there's earthquakes, so it's kind of hard to get away from things like that. There's an open junction box. That's something that you don't want to have in the house. I don't know if the wires are live, if they're capped, if they're low voltage, but it's something to always take into consideration and have checked out. The whole time I'm kind of peering around, seeing if I can find anything. Sometimes I'll note in bedrooms that there's wear in the carpet, just so my clients or the sellers can't come back and say anything like, hey, how come you didn't notice this, or how come you didn't point this out? I'll note like foot traffic on the floors. Now coming into this bathroom, we'll check for safety stuff, and I'll open the door. So this is opening, and I'm not getting it to open this way. So this right here is something perfect to note on my inspection report. The reason why this is not good is because if somebody fell in the shower and the fire department had to get in, or if I had to get in, I couldn't open the door out to access the person inside, we would probably more than likely get stuck here because there would be someone laying in the shower. So that's something that I would ask the seller to fix. So these particular buyers were really looking for something with a pool and a shop. Now that's pretty hard to find in San Diego to have both in the price range that these guys were in. Unfortunately, we were only finding something with a pool. So therefore they have to build a shop. Now for me, I come from a construction background. So when I show buyers property, I always look for possibilities, areas of the property that can be built on, areas of the property that can be used. So when taking all that into consideration, where does the water come into the house? Where does the septic leave the house or the sewer leave the house? Where does the gas lines cross? Where does your electrical come in? Is it underground? Is it overhead? Now these are all variables of building. Open space on the property. Can I build there legally? What the setbacks are. Now on this house in particular, we showed this property to my buyers, and the plan would be is we have a well house here. The water crosses the road. So what would be really cool is we already have a huge 3-car garage there. We could either cut this grade down, push it back, or even bring grade in up there and cut a pad in for a shop. But now we have to take into consideration our 30-foot setback. So how far off that property line does that leave us to our building? Most importantly, we got to do this legal so in the future resale value isn't affected. The other possibility at this property, since there's a driveway that leads down the other side, is either bring in a ton of dirt or cut where that lift is right there, that high reach. You can cut a pad out into that hill where you could essentially get a 3,000 square foot shop, or even put fill down in that canyon, build the dirt up, have a retaining wall, and put a 4,000 square foot shop. And then my client has everything they want. They have a house, they have solar, they have a pool, they have a working shop. Now he can run a business out of there if he wants, and even enjoy it more and build equity in a house that he's paying money for. So.
Ooh, baby, on the track, I'm going vroom, vroom. Try and catch me when I pull up in that zoom, zoom. Oh, no, please don't make that call. We don't want no cars, they ain't ready for the cause.
All right, so this next appointment, we are at a photo shoot for a 3-on-1 property in Lakeside. This house is gonna be particularly listed for $699. What we do at these photo shoots to prep for sellers is make sure all the lights work in the house, that all the lights are on. No fans are spinning in the bedrooms is important because that'll end up blurring out in the photos. So what I typically ask my sellers to do to prep for a photo shoot, for a property shoot, is all depending on the condition of the property. Now, if the home is brand new or newer construction, typically I just make sure that the walls are cleaned up, there's no scuffs, things are updated, all the furniture that they are living with in the house are staged. Now, one thing that I like to do differently is a lot of these older homes that have a lot of character but are outdated, I don't like to ask my sellers to go crazy and redo the kitchen or redo the bathroom. I think buyers are more attracted to a property that has been really well taken care of. So I always ask my sellers, make sure your house is immaculate, clean, clean, clean. All your grout in between your tile is clean. All the caulking around your sinks are clean. Everything is put away, it's decluttered. All your personal stuff is put away. Buyers really like to come to a house that is clean. It shows that there is pride in ownership, and it also shows really well in the pictures, and it also shows really well when buyers come to see it. So I would say the most important thing, like today, this is an older home. I want to make sure the house is clean and that all the lights are working. So.
Try and catch me when I pull up in that zoom, zoom. Oh no, please don't make that call. We don't want no cars, they ain't ready for the call.
All right, so now we're at this property in Blossom Valley, which is an area located next to Lakeside in El Cajon. It's rural El Cajon. I'm getting ready to show this property. It is listed a little bit high in my eyes. The reason why I've made that assumption is because just by looking around, there's a lot of deferred maintenance on this property. Things that look halfway finished, projects that the seller has started and hasn't finished. So I'm here to show some buyers what opportunities this house has, and obviously I'm here to help negotiate the best possible price for them. This house in particular is listed in a value range of 1.299 to 1.4, and we're hoping to get somewhere around 1.1. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure if it'll happen, but we got to take into consideration all the stuff around the property, like I said. So take a look around, follow me through it. You'll see things that I point out throughout the process that I think need to be fixed. We'll be looking at the condition of the carpet, the walls, the exterior of the house, which goes for the paint, the wood. So if there's any wood rot, I'm gonna be looking for any stains in the ceiling that are inside the house. That'll show me signs of roof leaks, the condition of the pool, cracks in the walls, doors that don't shut properly or open properly, and windows that don't shut or open properly. I screwed up. It was drawn out on the plans.
That's gonna be on YouTube. Cut that
Pocket, and we went to go. I had the window guy come in to make sure all the dimensions, it was already framed, and we didn't catch a shear wall there, and we couldn't build a pocket there.
So did you do the folding doors?
I did the pipe.
See, I think those are better.
I lost a foot.
Yeah, but with the pockets,
How
you
wide is
get
your
animals
opening?
and crap.
Almost 15 feet.
That's ours are 17. We have two 17-footers.
All right, so this morning, our termite inspection went good. We got a termite clearance. Following that, we went to our home inspection in Hamul, and the home inspection was actually extremely clean. The buyers are really happy. The seller was there during the process, so we were able to get as much information on the property as we possibly could. So my buyers are ready to move forward and lock this thing down. After that, we went to our photo shoot in Lakeside on that 3-on-1. That will be an off-market deal. So we're excited to get those photos back. I think it's gonna sell. It's not gonna take too much advertisement. The property will basically sell itself with good photos and the right connections. And lastly, we just left that property walk with the buyers in Blossom Valley. The property is in the condition I thought it was in. We project about $200,000 worth of upgrades. If we bought the house for $1.1 million and put 200 into it, it ended up being a $1.3 million property. I think they would be able to sell it for around 1.6. So all in all, it would be a good investment, but it will be all up to the buyers on whether or not they want to invest the time, the cash out of pocket, and I guess the time living in a construction zone. So we'll stay tuned for that. I'll keep you guys posted. I feel really good about today. Today was a long day. I'm headed off to a parent-teacher conference at school, and when I get back, we'll be writing some more offers. So thanks for following me around.